A man wants to do something in the elevator, but the woman didn't know what to do. She grabbed him by the lychee. The pain was so intense that he felt it in his heart. The man begs for mercy. The woman shook off the lychee. She walked out of the elevator with a curse on her face, but the next moment, the elevator malfunctioned. The man was trapped. He rushed to the security office to call for help. They said they'd be there in a few minutes, but the man waited for 2.5 hours. He didn't see anyone. He didn't want to wait any longer. So he opened the elevator with his bare hands. But no matter how hard he tried, the steel door could only be opened a little. It was almost impossible to get out. But here's the strange thing. It was work time. The corridor was empty. While the man was confused, his wife suddenly called, said someone was knocking on her door. She was scared. And the news was on the TV. People on the street were going crazy. They didn't know what was going on, but a man can't help himself. All he could do was comfort his wife. After hanging up the phone, he checked his cell phone in disbelief. It seems that there really is a riot. The man just wanted to smoke a mutai to calm down. Suddenly there was a rush for help from behind him. People are frantically running for their lives. A woman fell in front of him. It's the woman from the elevator. She panicked and begged the man for help. He tried to get into the elevator, but the next moment, he was dragged away by a mysterious force, followed by the screams of the saints. The man was scared out of his wits. What happened? He slowly approached the steel door. Suddenly, 2 zombie-like creatures came at him. The man's ass was squeezed. He fell to the ground. Luckily, the door was small enough. Otherwise, the consequences would have been disastrous. At that moment, a sound attracted the zombies. The man was in a state of shock. He got up and called the security office and asked why they weren't coming. But the guards don't know what's going on. He said that the maintenance staff had been lost, but no sooner had he said that, I heard the guard's screams. Apparently, he's become a zombie's food. The man is on the verge of collapse. At that moment, the phone rang. It's his wife. He was about to answer it. Suddenly, a pair of big hands grabbed him and spun him around. It's the woman from the morning. He's been turned into a zombie. The man tried his best to break free, took down the handrail in the elevator. He poked at the zombie until he's down for the count. He took out the mineral water from his bag to wash the blood off his face. But the woman was dead. She looked horrible. The man picked up the pipe again. He takes the body to the side. He covered up the blood with papers. At that moment, there were footsteps outside. It's the new employee of the company. The man cautiously called him over. Then he took out a steel pipe. He wanted his help to pry open the door. They tried several times, but to no avail. The pipe fell to the ground by accident. The noise attracted the zombies. The woman was in a lot of trouble. He tried to get into the elevator. But it didn't work. The zombies were so close. The woman had to get up and run. But what the man didn't expect, he killed the zombie back. The man was dumbfounded by this maneuver. She escaped from the danger. The 2 of them smiled at each other. However, the danger is not over. Suddenly, 2 more zombies appeared. They grabbed the woman and tore her up. As the man screamed his heart out, the woman became a buffet for the zombies. One after another died in front of him. The man is completely desperate. He called his wife for comfort, but the whole city has a zombie virus outbreak. The situation on his wife's side is also not optimistic. Before he could say a few words, a zombie broke into the house. Then came his wife's screams. But there's nothing a man can do. He can only cry helplessly. At this moment, his heart was already dead. When he saw the zombies passing by, he purposely made a noise to provoke them. Several zombies came to the sound. The man was venting his anger. Then a call for help came from the hallway. It's the man's secretary. The zombies were attracted to her. The woman can only hide in the office. The man tries to make noise to distract the walkers.
Pezzo di merda! Pezzo di merda, vieni qui! Prendimi!
But the zombies didn't buy it. They went straight in. Another life is lost in front of the man's eyes. He can't hold out any longer. 2 walkers are coming in. The power's out in the building. Suddenly there's a gunshot. The zombies fell to the ground. It's a heavily armed soldier. The man begged for help as if he had grabbed a straw. The soldier came over to him, but he can't break it with his bare hands. We need to find a generator. The soldier left his pistol and walkie-talkie. With the man's guidance, they find the generator. The elevator is back on, but the doors are still jammed. The man tries to push it open, but the sound attracted the walkers. He raised his gun. He took out the walker with a few shots. Then he took a breath. The soldier's screams came over the walkie-talkie. Looks like he's in trouble. His only hope of being rescued is gone. The man was devastated. He put the muzzle of his gun in his mouth and prepared to kill himself. But just then, the soldier's cry for help came from the top of the elevator. He was still alive. The man used a steel pipe to pry open the top of the elevator and saved the soldier from the elevator. But he was already bitten by a zombie. G.I. Joe said the virus was caused by a leak in a lab. He took out a picture of his wife, said he loved her very much. He's glad he's safe now. When he heard that, the man looks ashamed because he was a scum, betrayed his wife. In the morning, they quarreled over trivial matters, but now they don't even have a chance to fight. The two talked until late at night. The soldier gradually lost consciousness. He jumped at the man. At this point, he's completely mutated. The man had no choice. He had no choice but to send him to the northwest. But the sound of gunshots attracted more zombies. They blocked the elevator door, and the pistol is out of bullets. The man can only pick up the spray gun on the floor. One spray. The strong backlash caused him to fall down. He hit the elevator and fainted. The man was awakened by the sound of gunshots. He went up to take a look. He found that the zombies outside the elevator had been cleared, and the person who shot him was nowhere to be found. Just when the man was confused, the phone suddenly rang. It was his wife. He didn't die. He was saved by the soldiers. He's safe now. The man cried tears of joy, but in the middle of his sentence, the phone suddenly died. But the news that his wife was alive, it renewed his desire to live. He used the body of a soldier as a cushion under his feet. He succeeded in removing the object stuck in the elevator and finally opened the elevator door. He climbed out of the elevator and walked out of the building. Outside, it was a mess. There were dead bodies everywhere. It was like hell on earth. He saw a bottle of milk on the floor. He picked it up and was about to drink it. But the corpses on the ground suddenly exploded. The man wanted to fight him to the death. But the next moment, the zombie was shot down. It's the soldiers from afar. They cleared out all the zombies. They stopped this terrible virus.